All right, so we've got this leather goods manufacturing technician interview coming up, and we are going to deep dive into RoleCatcher's resources to help you really stand out.
It's about being prepared,
Yeah,
not just on the technical side, but also being able to showcase,
right.
your passion and understanding of the craft.
Exactly. So let's set the scene a little bit first.
Yeah.
We're talking about a role that blends artistry with technical skills.
Mm-hmm.
Think handcrafting those high-quality leather goods,
Right.
maybe even custom pieces
Yeah.
using traditional tools and techniques.
Yeah.
It's not your typical factory job.
No.
It's about precision creativity and a deep understanding of the material.
And what's fascinating is the industry itself.
Yeah.
The leather goods market, it's surprisingly stable.
Oh.
People value that quality and craftsmanship, so the demand is consistently there.
That's reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
Especially if you're considering this as a long-term career.
Right.
But like any field,
Yeah, sure.
there are pros and cons. The career guide points out the creative opportunities
Yeah,
and the chance to work with skilled artisans as major pluses.
absolutely.
But it also mentions the physical demands of the job
Right.
and potential exposure to chemicals,
Yes.
which are definitely important factors to consider.
Absolutely. And location matters too.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
The guide highlights that metropolitan areas with a strong fashion presence,
Okay.
like New York or Milan,
Yeah.
tend to have more opportunities.
Right.
So if you're in a smaller town, you might need to be more flexible with relocation
Okay.
or consider specializing in a niche area,
Got it.
like saddle making or bookbinding.
Good point.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about climbing that career ladder.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's career guide outlines 4 key stages.
Mm-hmm.
Entry-level junior technician,
Yep.
senior technician, and then leading a team as a lead technician.
Right. Each stage comes with more responsibility,
Okay.
starting with mastering basic techniques
Yeah.
and moving towards leading projects. Having more design input and even focusing on process improvement,
I see.
what I find really helpful
Yeah.
are the example profiles they include for each stage.
Okay.
Reading those snippets from actual leather goods manufacturing technicians
Right.
makes the progression feel so much more real.
Okay.
You get a glimpse into their daily routines, challenges, and
Yeah.
the skills they've honed along the way.
Okay. So you've got the industry landscape, you see the career path.
Right.
Now let's bring in the secret weapon,
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI.
All right.
This is where your prep goes from good to exceptional.
It's all about precision. Instead of generic advice, RoleCatcher's AI analyzes actual job descriptions
Okay.
to pinpoint what employers are looking for in this specific role.
Right.
Let's say the job you're applying for emphasizes hand stitching.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI might notice that your resume highlights your machine stitching experience
Interesting.
more prominently.
Yeah.
It'll flag that and suggest you showcase your hand stitching skills more clearly.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
It's like having a career coach
Right.
who's laser focused on
Yeah.
this particular job,
Exactly.
helping you tailor your application and even craft strong answers
Yeah.
to those tricky application questions.
It's all about increasing your chances of getting noticed.
I love it. Okay, ready to tackle some interview questions?
Let's do it.
We're focusing on the ones that really test your knowledge
Okay.
and let your expertise shine through.
Sounds good.
And we'll be weaving in those valuable insights from RoleCatcher's career guide
Awesome.
along the way.
All right.
First up, what inspired you to pursue a career in leather goods manufacturing?
Okay.
It seems straightforward, but
It is, but it's also deceptively revealing. They're
Yeah.
not just looking for a story.
yeah.
They're assessing your passion,
Okay.
your understanding of the feel, and what drives you.
So no vague answers about always loving the smell of leather, right?
Definitely not think about what sparked that initial interest.
Good.
Was it a family connection to craftsmanship?
Yeah.
A beautifully crafted leather bag you saw in a shop window?
Yeah.
Maybe you stumbled upon a documentary about traditional leatherwork
Right.
and were captivated by the process.
Okay.
Whatever it was, connect it back to the skills and qualities you bring to the role, like your attention to detail,
Yeah.
your appreciation for quality, or even that creative spark the guide mentions.
Okay, so let's say you nail that initial answer.
Right.
Now picture this. The interviewer leans back and asks,
Uh-oh.
what kind of leather goods are you most drawn to creating?
Okay.
What's going on in their mind there?
They're digging deeper.
Okay.
They're trying to see how your interests align with their company's products.
Got it.
And if your passion resonates with what they create,
Okay.
do your research,
Yeah.
look at their website,
Right.
understand their style, and be ready to talk about what excites you
Yeah.
about their specific offerings.
All right, next question. This one gets a bit more technical.
Okay.
How do you ensure high quality in your leather goods manufacturing processes?
All right.
And this is where that predefined quality criteria from the career guide comes in, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
They're looking for more than just a general understanding of quality.
Right.
They want to know how you apply those standards in practice.
I see.
Think about the specific steps you take throughout the process.
So walk them through your workflow.
Exactly.
Talk about inspecting the leather for imperfections
Yes.
before you even start cutting.
Yes.
How you meticulously measure and mark each piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the techniques you use to ensure clean, precise stitching.
Exactly. And don't forget about the finishing touches.
Right.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide highlights the importance of applying dyes, polishes, or other treatments
Yeah.
to achieve the desired look and feel.
Okay.
If that's relevant to the job, be prepared to discuss your experience and techniques.
Okay. They're nodding along, impressed with your process.
Yeah.
But then they hit you with a follow-up.
Uh-oh.
Tell me about a time you identified a quality issue and how you resolved it.
Okay.
What's the best way to approach this one?
This is your chance to showcase your problem-solving skills
Okay.
and your commitment to delivering excellence.
Right.
Have a specific anecdote ready, something that demonstrates your ability to spot a flaw, analyze the cause,
Right.
and take corrective action.
Okay.
And don't just tell the story. Tie it back to those predefined quality criteria.
So, for example, you could say something like, during a recent project, I noticed that the stitching on a few pieces wasn't meeting our standards for consistency.
Yep.
I traced the issue back to a slightly dull needle,
Okay.
which was causing the thread to snag. I immediately replaced the needle and restitched the affected areas to ensure they met our quality guidelines.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You've shown them you have a framework for excellence.
Right.
You're detail-oriented, and
Right.
you're not afraid to take action to maintain those high standards.
Okay, next question. What is your experience with leather working tools and equipment?
All right.
This one feels like a chance to really showcase your technical skills.
It is, but remember, it's not about simply listing every tool you've ever touched.
Right.
Focus on the tools most relevant to this specific job
Okay.
and go beyond just naming them.
Yeah.
Describe your experience using them, the techniques you've mastered,
Right.
and maybe even share a story about a challenging project
Okay.
where your skill with a particular tool was crucial.
Let's say the job description mentions hand stitching as a key requirement.
Okay.
You could talk about your experience with different types of needles and threads,
Mm-hmm.
the importance of selecting the right thread for the leather and project,
Right.
the techniques you've honed to achieve consistent stitch tension,
Yep.
and how you care for your tools to ensure their longevity.
Exactly. Show them you're not just familiar with the tools.
Yeah.
You have a deep understanding of how to use them effectively to create high-quality, handcrafted leather goods.
Okay, let's say you've just finished talking about your love for a good stitching awl,
All right.
and then the interviewer follows up with, what's your preferred method for skeeving leather and why?
Ooh, okay.
What are they looking for with this type of question?
They're testing your depth of knowledge
Okay.
and your ability to explain your reasoning.
Got it.
They want to see if you understand the nuances of different techniques
Right.
and if you can articulate why you prefer one approach over another.
Yeah.
Be ready to demonstrate your expertise and explain your choices clearly.
This is a good spot to remind folks about RoleCatcher's skill guides.
Right.
If you need to brush up on a specific technique
Yeah.
or want to dive deeper into the nuances of leatherworking,
Mm-hmm.
their guides provide step-by-step instructions, tips from experts,
Right.
and even resources for further learning.
It's like having a master craftsman by your side, guiding you through the intricacies of each technique.
Okay, let's move on to a question that focuses on efficiency. How do you ensure efficient production of leather goods?
Okay.
Now, this one feels especially relevant in a field where craftsmanship and time are often intertwined.
Absolutely. And this is where the career guide's insights
Mhm.
into the different career stages
Yeah.
can come in handy.
Okay.
If you're aiming for a senior or lead role, you need to show you're thinking beyond individual tasks.
Yeah.
You need to demonstrate an understanding of how to streamline processes,
Okay.
manage your time effectively,
Right.
and maybe even improve efficiency based on your experiences at different levels.
So talk about your approach to planning,
Exactly.
how you break down complex projects into manageable steps,
Yeah.
and the techniques you use to work quickly without sacrificing quality.
Right.
You could even mention how your experience in previous roles,
Uh-huh.
maybe starting as an entry-level technician and moving up to a junior role, has helped you develop those time management skills.
Yeah. And remember, the career guide highlights the technician's role in troubleshooting minor issues in the manufacturing process.
Yes.
If you've had experience identifying and resolving bottlenecks or finding ways to improve workflow,
Right.
this is a great opportunity to share those stories.
Okay. You've just finished explaining your system for organizing your workspace
All right.
and optimizing your workflow,
Mm-hmm.
and then they throw this at you.
Uh-oh.
Describe a time you had to adjust a production schedule due to unforeseen circumstances.
Okay.
How did you handle it?
All right.
What are they trying to assess here?
They're looking for flexibility, adaptability,
Okay.
and problem solving under pressure.
Right.
Think of a time when a project hit a snag. Maybe a shipment of materials was delayed.
Yeah.
A key piece of equipment malfunctioned,
Right.
or a client requested a last-minute change.
Right.
How did you assess the situation, communicate with the team, and adjust the schedule to minimize disruptions
Right.
while still meeting deadlines and quality standards?
This is a great example of how RoleCatcher's AI can help you refine your answers.
Yes.
You can practice telling this story,
Uh-huh.
and the AI will provide feedback on your clarity, conciseness, and even how well you're addressing the interviewer's intent.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert
Right.
who can pinpoint areas for improvement
Yeah.
and suggest ways to make your answers even stronger.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already,
We have.
but let's tackle one more question before we move on.
Okay.
How do you keep up with industry trends and developments?
Right.
Now, this one feels especially important in a field that's constantly evolving,
Absolutely.
with new materials, techniques, and technologies emerging.
They want to see that you're passionate about your craft,
Right.
you're curious about the latest advancements,
Mm-hmm.
and you're committed to staying at the forefront of the industry.
Okay.
And it goes beyond just knowing the trends.
Right.
It's about showing you're actively seeking knowledge
Yeah.
and applying it to your work.
So what are some ways to demonstrate that commitment to continuous learning?
Be specific. Mention trade publications you read,
Okay.
blogs or websites you follow,
Yeah.
or even online communities where you connect with other leather goods professionals.
Right.
The guide also highlights the importance of networking.
Okay.
Attending industry events and conferences is a fantastic way to stay informed, meet other artisans,
Yeah.
and learn about new techniques and tools.
And if you've taken any courses or workshops,
Yeah.
especially those related to new technologies or techniques, this is the time to highlight them.
Right.
Show them you're investing in your skills
Yeah.
and you're committed to growth.
Now imagine this. The interviewer leans in, intrigued, and asks,
Oh,
what's a recent industry trend that excites you, and how do you see it impacting your work?
okay.
How would you respond?
This is where you get to showcase your vision
Exactly.
and your ability to think critically
Yes.
about the future of the craft.
Do your research. Is there a new type of leather that's gaining popularity?
Yeah.
A sustainable tanning method that's more environmentally friendly?
Right.
Maybe a new digital design tool
Okay.
that's revolutionizing the way patterns are created?
I see.
Choose something that genuinely interests you
Yeah.
and connect it to your work.
And to really impress them.
Yes.
Tie it back to the guide's focus on innovation.
Right.
Maybe talk about how this trend could lead to new and innovative leather goods
Mm-hmm.
and how you're excited to experiment and incorporate these advancements into your craft.
Show them you're not just keeping up, you're looking ahead,
Yeah.
embracing change, and constantly seeking ways to improve.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great point. Enthusiasm and a forward-thinking mindset are definitely valuable in this field. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about a question that often comes up in interviews.
Okay.
For roles that emphasize individual craftsmanship, like this one,
All right.
how do you prioritize tasks and manage your workload?
This one seems particularly relevant to a leather goods manufacturing technician role,
Yeah.
especially when you think about those exclusive models and small batch orders the career guide mentions.
Right.
You could be juggling multiple projects at once,
Mm-hmm.
each with its unique set of demands.
Exactly. They want to see you can handle that level of responsibility
Right.
and manage your time effectively to meet deadlines without compromising quality.
So how do we showcase those organizational skills
Right.
and give them the reassurance they're looking for?
Be specific. Talk about the systems you use to stay organized.
Right.
Do you rely on detailed to-do lists,
Yeah.
project management software, a color-coded calendar system.
Right.
Whatever works for you, share it.
Okay.
And explain your approach to prioritizing tasks.
Right.
Maybe you tackle the most time-sensitive projects first,
Hmm.
or focus on completing the most complex tasks early on to get them out of the way.
And don't forget about the importance of communication,
Yes.
even when you're working independently. The guide highlights those regular interactions with designers, supervisors, and even customers. Keeping everyone in the loop on your progress and any potential challenges is crucial.
Right. So imagine this. You've just explained your system for organizing your workload.
Okay.
And then the interviewer says, tell me about a time you had to adjust your priorities
Uh-oh.
due to a sudden change in project scope or deadline.
Okay.
What goes through your mind?
Definitely a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
They're looking for flexibility and problem-solving skills.
Right.
They want to know you can adapt to unexpected changes and still deliver high-quality work on time.
Exactly. Think
Yeah.
about a time when a project threw you a curveball.
Yeah.
Maybe a client requested a last-minute design change,
Yeah.
a key material was delayed, or a piece of equipment malfunctioned.
Right.
How did you handle it? Did you reassess the project timeline?
Yeah.
Communicate clearly with the team and the client?
Right.
Find creative solutions to keep the project moving forward?
This is another great example of where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be so helpful.
Absolutely.
You can practice your answer,
Uh-huh.
and their AI will analyze your response, providing insights into how well you're addressing the interviewer's intent,
Yes.
and even suggesting ways to make your story more compelling and impactful.
It's like having a personal storytelling coach,
Right.
helping you craft a narrative that highlights your skills and resilience.
Okay, let's move on to a question
All right.
that explores your ability to work collaboratively.
Okay.
How do you work with a team to achieve shared goals?
Good one.
This one might seem a bit counterintuitive
Yeah.
for a role that often emphasizes individual craftsmanship, but
It's not about contradicting that independent work style.
okay.
It's about showing you can collaborate effectively when needed,
Okay.
especially in larger manufacturing settings.
Okay.
Remember, the career guide mentions the importance of teamwork,
Yeah.
particularly as you progress to more senior roles where you might be leading a team.
Or collaborating with designers on new product development.
So how do we highlight those team player qualities
Okay.
without downplaying our individual strengths?
Focus on communication, respect for different perspectives,
Right.
and a willingness to share your knowledge and expertise.
Right.
You could mention a time when you helped a colleague troubleshoot a problem, offer guidance to a junior technician,
Okay.
or contributed your unique skills to a successful team project.
And if you're aiming for a leadership position,
Yeah.
remember that the career guide specifically highlights the lead leather goods manufacturing technician's role
Right.
in managing a team of technicians and allocating work assignments. This question is your chance to showcase those leadership qualities.
Absolutely. Talk about your approach to delegation,
Okay.
how you motivate and support your team members,
Yeah.
and how you foster a collaborative and positive work environment.
Now, picture this. You've just finished talking about a successful team project you were part of.
And the interviewer leans in and says, describe a time you had to resolve a conflict within a team. Hook, what was your approach?
Right.
What's the best way to navigate this potentially tricky question?
They're looking for your conflict resolution skills
Okay.
and your ability to maintain a harmonious and productive team environment.
Right.
Think about a time when you encountered a disagreement or a clash of personalities within a team setting.
Yeah.
Did you listen actively to understand different viewpoints?
Yeah.
Did you facilitate open and respectful communication?
Right.
Were you able to find a compromise or a solution that addressed everyone's concerns?
This is another situation where practicing your response with RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be incredibly valuable.
Yes.
Their AI can help you ensure you're framing this situation in a positive light, highlighting your role in resolving the conflict effectively,
Right.
and showcasing your ability to maintain a strong team dynamic.
It's about turning a potentially negative situation
Yeah.
into an opportunity to showcase your interpersonal skills
Mm.
and your ability to navigate challenges with grace and professionalism.
All right, let's dive into another question that's sure to come up in your interview. This one's all about showcasing your hands-on expertise. What is your experience with leatherworking tools and equipment?
This is where you get to let your passion for the craft shine through.
Yeah.
It's not just about rattling off a list of tools you've used.
Right.
It's about demonstrating a deep understanding of how those tools function,
Okay.
the techniques they enable, and how you've used them to create beautiful, functional leather goods.
Right.
Remember, RoleCatcher's Career Guide emphasizes the importance of manual techniques supported by simple traditional equipment in this field. So really lean into that craftsmanship aspect.
Well, instead of saying, I've used a stitching awl,
Right.
we should paint a picture of our experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. For example, you could say, I've spent countless hours honing my hand stitching skills using a stitching awl. I've learned to select the right size and shape of awl for different letter thicknesses and thread types, and I've developed a steady hand and consistent technique to create durable, beautiful stitches that enhance the overall aesthetic of the piece.
Okay, that definitely paints a more vivid picture.
Yeah.
Now, imagine this. You've just finished explaining your love for a good, sharp-edged beveler.
All right.
And then the interviewer throws a curveball.
Oh.
They ask, what's your preferred method for burnishing leather edges and why?
Okay.
What's the strategy for tackling this kind of follow-up question?
They're testing your depth of knowledge and your ability to explain your reasoning.
Right.
They want to see if you've experimented with different techniques,
Yeah.
understand the nuances of each approach, and can articulate why you favor a particular method.
Okay.
Maybe you prefer using a traditional wooden edge slicker because it creates a beautifully polished, smooth edge. Or perhaps you've adopted a combination of techniques. Okay.
Using gum tragacanth and a canvas cloth for the initial burnishing.
Right.
And then finishing with a beeswax-based edge dressing for a professional polished look.
Yeah.
Whatever your preference,
Yeah.
explain your rationale clearly and confidently.
And this is a perfect opportunity to remind everyone about those incredible skill guides on RoleCatcher.
Yeah.
If you need a refresher on specific techniques or want to explore different approaches to burnishing, dyeing, or any other leatherworking skill, their guides offer step-by-step instructions, expert tips, and even links to additional resources.
They're a fantastic resource for anyone wanting to expand their skill set and really stand out in an interview.
Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about a resource that can truly elevate your interview preparation, RoleCatcher's AI-powered feedback. It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Absolutely. It takes your interview prep to the next level.
Right.
You can practice your answers to those tough interview questions, and RoleCatcher's AI will analyze your responses.
Providing feedback on clarity, conciseness, and even how well you're addressing the interviewer's intent.
Okay.
It can even suggest ways to make your answers more impactful and engaging.
It's like having a mock interview where you get real-time feedback on your tone and even your body language.
It's an incredible tool for building confidence and ensuring you're putting your best foot forward.
We've covered a lot of ground today exploring key interview questions and highlighting those valuable resources from RoleCatcher. But before we wrap up this deep dive, let's take a moment to reflect on a point that's woven throughout the career guide.
Yeah.
The emphasis on creativity and innovation.
Yes, it's not just about mastering traditional techniques.
Why?
It's about bringing your own unique vision and ideas to the craft.
The guide mentions working with designers to create new and innovative leather goods. So as you prepare for this interview, take some time to think about that aspect. What kind of innovative designs would you be excited to create?
Let that question spark your creativity and fuel your passion as you head into your interview. Show them that you're not just looking for a job.
Yeah.
You're looking to make your mark on the world of leather goods. And remember, with RoleCatcher's incredible resources and your own dedication, you have everything you need to succeed.
So go out there and nail that interview. We'll be here cheering you on every step of the way.